Right now, in a secluded compound somewhere in Europe, a pristine $2 million Ferrari is intentionally being reduced to a pile of smoldering ash. To the untrained eye, it looks like a heart-wrenching mechanical tragedy. To a forensic accountant, it looks like a brilliant masterclass in high finance asset liquidation. When an average person crashes their sedan, it's a financial nightmare that raises their insurance premiums for a decade. But when the world's richest 0.1% see their luxury fleets begin to lose value, they don't sell them on the open market. They call their lawyers, pull up the corporate tax ledger, and exploit a terrifying multi-million-dollar loophole. The trick begins long before a single match is struck. These hypercars are almost never owned by individuals. Instead, they are registered to anonymous corporate shell companies tucked away in obscure tax havens. The vehicle isn't a mode of transportation, it's listed on paper as an active, operational corporate asset. As these cars age, the maintenance costs become catastrophic. A routine brake replacement on a Bugatti or a custom Ferrari can easily cross $50,000. Combine that with massive market depreciation, and the billionaire faces a losing investment. Unless, of course, that asset completely vanishes from existence. Under global accounting frameworks, a business can claim an immediate tax deduction for what is known as a casualty loss. If a piece of corporate equipment is destroyed by an unpreventable fire, the entire remaining value of that asset can be instantly written off against the company's total global earnings, and that is where the match meets the gasoline. Let's look at the actual numbers. To a billionaire, a luxury hypercar isn't an asset. It's a massive, bleeding liability wrapped in carbon fiber. The moment those tires touch a public road, the vehicle hemorrhages value. We are talking about a loss of up to $5,000 every single week, just sitting silently in a climate-controlled garage. But the ultra-rich do not absorb losses like the rest of us. When they purchase the vehicle through their shell company, they secure high-net-worth casualty coverage. This means if the car is completely totaled, reduced to absolute zero, they do not get a check for the heavily depreciated used market value. They get a check for the original inflated purchase price. So, how does a stationary car in a state-of-the-art underground bunker suddenly burst into flames? It is shockingly simple. Modern hypercars are volatile machines. A conveniently faulty lithium battery cell or a mysteriously frayed wiring harness resting near a titanium exhaust is all it takes to trigger an unextinguishable thermal runaway. By the time the fire department breaks through the reinforced garage doors, there is nothing left to investigate but a melted, unrecognizable chassis. The insurance investigators write it off as a tragic mechanical failure. The shell company gets the massive cash payout, but the scheme doesn't end there. Here is where the tax code rips the system wide open. Because the business lost a physical operational asset, that loss is deducted against the company's total annual profits. They get the insurance cash, and they completely erase their corporate tax bill for the entire year. It is a flawless double payout. To fully understand how these ghost fleets vanish, you have to look at a map of a small, quiet town in Montana. Thousands of the world's most expensive hypercars are officially registered to tiny, empty mailboxes here. Why? Because Montana has 0% sales tax on vehicles. By setting up a Shell LLC, a billionaire instantly saves $200,000 on a single Bugatti registration before it ever leaves the factory floor. But registering the car is only half the battle. Hiding its movements is the real challenge. These vehicles are heavily wrapped in specialized satellite-blocking tracking covers when transported between elite private garage compounds. They exist completely off the grid. No public license plates, no digital footprint, and absolutely no paper trail connecting them to the true ultimate owner. For decades, this shadow market operated in total silence. But as we move deeper into 2026, global financial authorities have finally cracked the code. Global task forces are now using advanced artificial intelligence and cross-border data tracking to actively monitor these shell company registrations, cross-referencing satellite imagery of private flight, manifests with elite garage storage coordinates. The trap is closing fast. Under these aggressive new transparency laws, if a shell corporation cannot prove the vehicle is being used for legitimate commercial business operations, the owner faces catastrophic penalties and immediate asset seizure. The luxury asset is no longer a safe haven for untaxed wealth. It has officially become a glowing target. This isn't just theory anymore. In early 2026, the silence was shattered. Elite financial task forces backed by armed federal agents began executing coordinated pre-dawn raids on unmarked warehouse compounds across Europe and North America. They weren't looking for illicit substances. They were hunting for hidden, unregistered hypercar fleets worth hundreds of millions. Inside these compounds, investigators discovered underground concrete bunkers engineered with military-grade security. Behind reinforced steel doors sat rows of pristine, zero-mile hypercars, Pagani Zondas, Bugatti Chirons, and limited-edition Ferraris, hidden completely away from public view, serving as nothing more than untaxed physical banknotes for the ultra-wealthy. But the loophole has formally collapsed. One by one, these mechanical masterpieces are being loaded onto flatbed tow trucks under the glare of forensic cameras. Because these vehicles were registered to shell companies failing to prove legitimate commercial activity, they are flagged as illegal tax shelters, leading to immediate asset forfeiture. For the billionaire class, seeing a one-of-one asset towed away in broad daylight is the ultimate loss of control. These cars are no longer safe havens, they are liabilities. As federal governments prepare to liquidate these seized fleets at public sovereign auctions, a desperate question echoes through the elite inner circles. With underground bunkers being raided and shell companies systematically exposed, the era of using flashy, multi-million-dollar hypercars as hidden capital stores is officially dead. The ultra-rich are panic-selling their collections to late-coming millionaires who don't understand the trap they are walking into. The true elite money is already fleeing the automotive space entirely. So where are they hiding their billions now? They are shifting into untraceable, high-value, physical commodities that lack license plates, satellite trackers, or public registries. Rare blue diamonds locked in Swiss free ports, hyper-exclusive digital sovereign bonds, and physical high-art assets that can be transferred with a simple handshake in international waters. The game hasn't stopped. The rules have just changed. While average enthusiasts argue over horsepower and top speeds, the real players are calculating how to turn depreciating steel into permanent, untaxed power. If you want to track where elite wealth and asset markets are actually moving before the crash happens, hit that subscribe button to join Phantom Luxury. Because the next time you see a multi-millionaire burning their $2 million Ferrari,